You wrote your autobiography. For all you moms, actually you dads too out there, can you imagine if your child wrote an autobiography? What would that look like? What would it do to your relationship?
Well, it was so interesting for me when All That Is Bitter and Sweet first came out, because I had not anticipated there would be such extraordinary interest in the 4 chapters that I did include about my experiences growing up. The book is based on diaries I kept traveling the world doing poverty alleviation, global public health.
She's the global ambassador for YouthAIDS, by the way.
Social justice work. And, when I started this work, the very first day, my first trip was to Cambodia, I was in the notorious child brothels of Svay Pak in Cambodia. And I went back to my hotel room, and I literally had nowhere inside of me to put what I had seen, the pain and the grief that I felt, and it almost became a compulsion. It was like an incantation every day. I wrote and I wrote and I wrote.
But you've always been so introspective. You've always kept journals.
I've always written. And this daily writing allowed me to capture the narratives that vulnerable people had shared with me. And it also allowed me to describe the very simple and cost-effective and very humane interventions I saw that were helping to save lives.
What do you want people to know about how to get in touch with you? Ways that they can be of service?
Well, a lot of times people, they say to me how can they do the kind of work that I've been so privileged to do around the world. And my response is, I believe that when we come from our soul, that's when we're most effective. Mm-hmm. And that each of us has the opportunity to identify our greatest vulnerability. And within that vulnerability, provided we do the personal work of healing, that is transformed into our particular resilience and strength. So if it's childhood sexual abuse because you were molested,
as were you, I found out in the book.
Do your trauma healing, do your work, find a 12-step program, and then go out in the world, in your community, and work with other survivors of childhood sexual abuse.
We feel known then. All of us need to feel known.